I thought there was supposed to be an X.
We'll tell you where to go.
Okay.
It's imaginary.
There you go.
How the first 2 days been?
It's great. You know, it's so much of football is getting ready for football, but to get back on the grass and you get to know people, but then you get to learn about them in a different way. There's the inside players and there's the players when they get on the field. So it's good to get to know both of them now.
How was the adjustment of getting to know the guys before you got on the field? What did you feel about your group that you have on defense?
It's hard, because when you come in, just like when you meet anybody, the first impressions, everyone handles themselves the right way. But once you get into the football element of it, now it's how do they work an individual? What's their attention to detail in the meeting rooms? Are they coming up for extra meeting time? What's their demeanor on the field? Are they leading others? So there's so much more to the person once you actually get on the field.
How would you describe yourself during practices?
Boy, I try to be enthusiastic. I really do. Football's a tough game, and I think coaches are the leaders. Coaches are the leaders, and every program wants to have 3 or 4 guys that lead from the locker room. But in my experience, there's a lot of young men, and they got a lot of things going on, and it's our job as the guys with experience to come out there and set the tone, and you try to pull everybody along with you.
In addition to getting to know your players, you're also getting to know some of your coaches as well, right? What's it been like coaching alongside those guys?
Great. Whammy's been Whammy's been a pro for a long time. So he's been great on the grass, but also how we plan things and how we're implementing things. Court is a young coach with a lot of energy. I think he's going to be great coaching the inside linebackers. He played that at the University of Washington, and I think he's going to have some real good insight for those guys. LD has been doing a great job of developing those guys. We got some limited numbers of those at those positions, so we have to dual train some guys. But I know LD will get it done.
Is that so? Court's coaching inside linebackers
Yes.
now. Whammy's doing the whole secondary.
Yeah, Whammy's got the whole back end. Yep.
Are you doing outside linebackers?
I'm going outside. I'm the stars and the jokers. Yes.
Okay. What how do you describe that position that you're coaching? Just those guys. I mean, who are some of the guys in your group? And
Well, right now we got Lamar Quez, Kane Pass, and CJ are playing that. Essentially, it's like a field outside linebacker. And then the guys in the boundary, you got Trayvon Young, you got James, you got Reese Melton, and then you got Gary McCray.
how is any guys that have stood out to you as ones that like this? I've got some good. I got a good guy here that
The first 2 days, especially for guys that are closer to the line of scrimmage, I think we did better today because we made some improvements. But I've told myself I'm not going to really have any opinions on these guys. Everyone always wants to rush to judgment, and just I think you let them work, you let them get better, and then maybe practice 6 or 7. I'll start really asking the coaches about some of the personnel decisions.
Peter, Bobby said on Monday that talking about Trayvon, being back limited, what is he able to do? And I know you watch a lot of film. I'm sure you went back 2 years ago to watch him since he didn't play last year.
Yeah, boy, you go back 2 years, rushing the quarterback. He looked like a guy that was tough to block. From an edge, he's got great length, does a nice job. He's not extremely heavy, but he plays heavy. Because he's got such good length and he can really bend his knees. So we just need to keep working him, keep bringing him along. Injuries aren't always physical on the recoveries. Some of it's right between your ears, and we have to keep pushing him, keep putting him in situations that he can gain confidence.
James Hearns is another guy that's coming off of an injury situation. Trino talked highly of how he came out day one. What's been your impression of him so far?
James has had 2 good days. For him, the more experienced you are, sometimes the greater challenge is to come out and play with great effort. So our challenge to him and my challenge to him is, can you be the best player in the ACC? That rushing quarterback, you need to be the very best. At some point, the longer you're here as a player, you have to find what's going to make you come out and bust your ass every day. And sometimes when you just compete against yourself, it's not enough. As competitors, you need to chase after something, and that's what we're going to put in front of him.
Obviously, you've seen that ability in him that he could be the top rusher.
When he can go, and coaches don't screw him up, we'll be all right.
You have, being a whole new staff, is it pretty much no position? You might send guys out there as a first team, but it's so early that, anybody could win a position, right? It's all kind of open.
It is, and, a lot of it's coach talk, but they're going to show us who's going to play. We're not going to set the depth. They set the depth. We watch the film. I tell the kids, they write the news, we report it. We ain't writing the news. We just watch them and tell them what they did.
Stacey Thomas, what have you seen from him so far?
Stacey, I like his demeanor. From an experienced player, he's picked it up, which you'd expect. Watching him on film, I think he's got an opportunity of, again, being a guy that at the end of the year needs to be a guy that's competing to be the best player at his position in our conference.
Do you, have you guys usually been using two, like we saw last year with Keith and Stacy out there together in the middle? Is that you've been usually doing that?
We'll have to see who comes along. I wouldn't say, I'm not going to, systematically or anything, I'm not going to shove anything down anybody's throat. We're going to adapt to what our players do best. I don't think it behooves anybody I'm going to be this way. We're going to play 3 guys. We're going to play guys who can help us win. And if that's 4 or 5 guys, then you'll see 4 or 5 guys play certain positions.
Would any of the young guys that have stood out to you so far? Or just the guys that are first week or so?
Without being sarcastic, they're all out there, man. But it's we're going to let them just develop 2 days. Again, rush to judgment. I know they're trying hard, and we'll see if they get better.
How excited will you be to see them get pads on? Obviously, you said you're enthusiastic in practice, and obviously not too long ago that you were in the pads. But, how excited will you be to see them in pads for the first time?
It's good because now we're talking real football. It's right now we're playing high school 7-on-7. Everybody likes that. Not everybody likes getting hit in the face.
Your coach had mentioned the other day that one of his goals this spring is to get better as a four-man pass rush and not have to bring as much pressure all the time. How did he convey that to you, or what are your thoughts on that?
Some of the best defenses in America, you go back statistically and look at the best guys in America, they're bringing 4. And you got to bring 5 right now. The ball comes out so fast. There's a lot of teams that are really inconsiderate to the quarterback. They don't care if their quarterback gets hit. They don't put a premium on protecting them. So if you're going to bring 5 and the ball's going to come out before you can hit him anyway, to be able to get access to the quarterback with 4 and have 7 in coverage, that's you'll see a lot of the top passing teams and the top third down teams aren't bringing 5 to make it happen. Thanks, guys. All right.